right now would be a fine time.
Promises kept. I promise.
Don't
I
rush it.
know where she's going with this one. Are we good?
We're good.
All right, because I'm gonna start. And I will be reviewing the chakras, what happens when you send energy into those chakras, because oftentimes what happens with release from a client is that you'll get those tears. Okay, so tears are a big deal to a lot of people. It's not one of those things that, first of all, your client might be expecting to do, even if you forewarn them, like a massage therapist would, that there's physical release, sometimes there's an emotional release. You want to trust, first of all, the process, that this is something that's expected from some people. So don't allow it to surprise you. You want to make sure that you stay grounded. Okay, oftentimes, especially when it's somebody who's really not used to tears, or you have a gentleman who's, been taught big boys don't cry, that type of element shows up and it knocks them off center. So you don't want to be knocked off center yourself. Make sure that you're breathing properly and that you ground for that, all right? The next thing that you want to do is run the energy, focus that energy to the chakra where the cry is coming from. All right, now what I mean by that is something that Carolyn May said in her book, Anatomy of the Spirit, and that was really the book that started the understanding out there. It became a bestseller for people to understand the chakra system itself. Okay, so are you all familiar with that? And you've taken the class before, that's a good thing. So what I want to do is for you to review what that cry would look like in that area of the body. So when I say run the energy into the chakra or into the area where the emotion is felt, this is what this means. Generally, when you see somebody cry, there's a contraction in the body somewhere here. That's third, fourth, fifth, sixth chakra. All right, so I'm going to show you what that would look like from third chakra here. Third chakra being the soul's purpose. If I'm not living a life with purpose, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm lost. And I feel so alone. There's no one who understands what I'm going through. There's a process that goes here, that burns in the gut. If we're impressed with an area of what somebody has said to us, and that impression that we give them comes across in an area for us that really, really hurts our ego, you're going to find it here, the contractions here. Now, they may not tell you that that's the situation, but that's where you're going to see it expressed. All right, so a lot of this is wordless. They may not even understand why they're crying. They'll just sense the emotion. It's something where the biography has become the biology, and that was Carolyn Mace's statement in that book. Your biography becomes your biology. Somewhere you've imprinted the expression of the emotion in the body, and because we don't always want to say, state, or act or react to the situation, we push it aside internally, and we allow it to sit there and manifest. And oftentimes it's the repeated holding on or the repeated ability to push that same situation over and over in our lives instead of learning the lesson and releasing it. We'll set it aside, and then that's where the dis-ease manifests itself. Okay, so there might be a pain there might be tension there. So third chakra is a sense of self or sense of purpose that's lost. Fourth chakra is the space of the heart. It's what we love. When we've lost something so important, and there's no way to retrieve that, or no sense of retrieval, and it leaves that ache and that hole deep into the heart center. You'll notice that the body caves. It caves forward. That sense of vacuum, of loss, of that hole in the heart, that sense of something being torn away. My heart was ripped out from this process and this situation and the journey that I took. And I don't know how to fill that yet. You'll notice that everything moves forward. The whole body caves over. And you'll notice this in the walk of many people. As we get older, the things that we lose, that we've never really been able to heal from, will pull us down. And that's why you end up with a cane that keeps you down there. And you see people walking very slowly, like you were talking about with your vision yesterday. Okay? Instead of being able to build ourselves back up, we don't know the way to fill the heart. And so when you start to run the energy into that area to fill the heart, that energy will be felt, that emotion starts to purge, and the wellness starts to creep in, and the love starts to take back over. But it's not going to be without feeling that sense and that present and the release of the tension, and that biology releases, and that biography starts to change and shift. Fifth chakra is at the throat. The cry becomes a tightness, a flex. It's also associated with the areas of the senses, the mouth, the ears. Things left unsaid. Often an area of anger. Movement becomes tight because there's so much left to say, or that's been said to me, and oftentimes from someone of power. And I'm not allowed to say anything back, because I might lose my job or my temper, and I might say something I really regret. And so it's locked here. It locks in this area, and you can see the tightness, and the eyes will move around, searching for the areas and looking inward for the area that's housed, because a lot of times with sixth chakra and the sense of our memories, you'll actually be able to notice where the eyes jet when somebody's telling you where their address is, or a story about themselves, or their hopes and dreams. You can notice their eyes will go up or down, and where they've actually placed it in their memory, their eyes will follow. There's actually a different modality that I won't go into, where you can actually release some of that through movement. Just moving the eyes and releasing that energy or that intensity, just by taking the eyes from a particular area and moving it over. But you'll notice when someone can't speak their truth and be honest with another individual or with themselves, that the tightness is there. And there's this strangulation of energy that causes this struggle that you'll see in the muscles of the neck. if I'm holding my memories here, and the pain is located in sixth chakra, the face will draw in. The pictures are there. Oftentimes, that can be a subconscious release as well. There's a memory that perhaps they don't even recall, that they're going to show that energetically that's where the struggle is, and you want to get that energy there as soon as you can. If it's just an expressive release and opening of seventh chakra, you'll find the tear, but the expression will be one of peace and joy. And that's a beautiful thing. You don't have to worry about anything else. You're doing a really good job of opening up that energy flow in their body. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. But at the end of all of that, you want to validate that individual. Let them know that you're there to hear the story if they need to express it any other way. But to run that energy and to validate that it's okay. And to bring that light into those areas. And then after that release is over, you want to go right into the brain, run into the sutures of the skull, just go right to the skeletal system here. Realign the occiput, okay? Because oftentimes when that release starts flowing up or moving downward, it can rearrange stuff here. And there's a level of embarrassment for some people. Are there any questions on that?
You said run